I'll be honest. I mean, I know they make money off advertisement. God, they kill, the advertisements. They're starting to kill everything, man. I was listening to a sports podcast last night, a Colin Cowherd podcast, and like every segment, every new topic, him and this guy would talk about. Like literally, this 2 minutes into talking talk, they would get to the good part, and then it's a advertisement, minute long advertisement about this. Okay, 8 minutes later, game time. 9 minutes after that, Manscaped. 10 minutes after that, some, underwear thing. And these advertisements, they really are starting to kill. They're really starting to kill the experience, man. Like, at least with TV, differences with TV is like you're expecting it. You're getting a different enhanced experience. Like with TV, you're watching a baseball game. Like, yeah, there's 10, 15 commercial breaks in a given night. But, you're getting different camera angles. You're getting commentary. You're getting analysis. You're getting, background knowledge of the teams, of what the coaches, you're getting a whole experience. Like, if I'm just listening to two people talking, and then in between, and then you're just throwing random advertisements in there. Like, that shit, it's getting old after a while. And there's criticism across the board. Even, people complain about the JRE having shit a lot of advertisements. Now, look, what I will say, when you have a deal with a company and stuff, they're inserting those ads. And look, in a 3-hour podcast, I get it. Look, we got bills to pay. This, we run a pretty heavy production. We fly people out. We got to pay the bills around here. So, okay, fine. Over a 3-hour podcast, I could get it. If it's spaced out, I'm okay with it. Every 30, 40 minutes or so, yeah, it's annoying, but I'll be all right. But if it's a 50-minute podcast and you got 6 advertisements, fuck off. Respectively. I love Cowherd. I'm not telling him to fuck off by any means. But it's starting to get to a point where they're really just, the podcasts are just excuses to have advertisement. When I think as consumers, what's getting annoying about it is it was okay, we listen to podcasts and we're happy that they're getting advertisements. They're making money. They're growing the show and stuff like that. It's the advertisements are lucky to have the exposure of the podcast. But now it's really the podcasters feel like they're lucky to have the advertisements. And they're treating the advertisements more considerate than the consumer. And there's a way to go about it. I'm not saying don't have ads. I'm not saying, I get it. It's a lot of money and it's free money, essentially saying. You got follow prompts. I've done a few ads before, nothing of substantial level. So I know on a small scale of how it works for the most part. But it's getting to a point where, man, you listen to a show, you're really getting into it, and they're 8 minutes into something. And then just a random ad, and it kills the whole flow. It really does. They get back in the talk, and it kills, the whole getting drawn in. They do it at the worst points. I think these companies, these podcasts, they just need to do a better job in terms of placing them at better points. That's all. I get it. You got to have the advertisements in the show. But if you're putting smack dab in the middle when you're talking about Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers and leaving on a cliffhanger to talk about game time, I'm going to be fucking pissed. And I might change to watch something else. Because then we just fast forward it anyways. And they'll be sneaky about it. Some have the courtesy of being ad break. And you can skip it over. I understand why advertisements don't like when you do it. Because they want their advertisement to be heard. And they know no one wants to hear their advertisement. Which tells you everything about the ads. When they know no one really wants to hear this shit. You know? I'm not anti-ad. I'm just, I speak for the people, Like, there's, like, even, you would think watching NBA Finals. Like, yeah, there's advertisements on the court and shit, but it's not even that bad. Like, they're not every time there's a timeout break. This timeout sponsored by Michelob Ultra. Like, you would think the finals, like, I would understand TV being excessive. Bro, these advertisements are, like, they are bitch slapping these podcasters. And they're bitch slapping them with a lot of money. So I'm not even mad at them. But there comes a point where if you are such at a level and you could just be like, nah, we got to keep some type of integrity of the show, because over time, this extra few $1,000s that we're making from this, people are going to get annoyed and stop really coming back to the show. I just think there's a way to do it, So, yeah, you got to pay the bills. And it's easy, quote unquote, money. But still, like, come on, man. It's just hard to get into the flow of things when it's just constant interruption of stuff that has nothing to do with what you're talking about. Just have, like, the show is sponsored, like, have an advertisement. This show is sponsored by Bud Light. Something like that. Like, Bill Simmons does it great. Like, yeah, they'll do a few advertisements during the show, but it's not in the middle of fucking when they're having a deep dive about the Game 6 reaction and what the fuck happened, Chet Holmgren, where the fuck are you at, Jimmy Neutron? They're not doing it in the middle. Like, it's like they have the advertisements around, like, the screen, and it's like, okay, you have the imagery and stuff like that. Or he'll do an opening monologue when he does an episode. May have advertisement again, does the opening monologue about something. Then before he has a guest, then he'll do like a minute ad about something. And then do the guest, Bro, this shit is just getting absurd, man. It really is. And what's annoying about it is the whole point of what made podcasting separate from TV and radio was we didn't have to listen to 30 minutes of ads all the time. And we would get different advertisements than we would get on TV. Now it's the same big shit that you get on TV. Like, old advertisements used to be like the infamous Fleshlight. It would be, weird websites about King. It would be off the wall stuff that, like, they couldn't get on TV. So here's the avenue where, hey, we could pay you. You have a decent audience. We could pay you. Like, it's a unique thing. Now it's just like everyone's getting the same. Everyone's getting Untucked. Everyone's getting Manscaped. Everyone's getting, fill in the blank beer company. Everyone's getting fill in the blank, whatever. It's all the fucking same. It's all, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the same fucking advertisements. It's like, Jesus, fuck. Now, that being said, today's sponsor, C4, Jolly Rancher Watermelon. I'm kidding. They're not a sponsor. I actually think you could get in some real trouble if you even joke around about someone being sponsored that's not a sponsor. As long as you don't actually put in the description, sponsored, But